Carlos Sainz wins the Australian Grand Prix. The Spaniard delivered an incredible race, securing Ferrari's first victory of the season. Against the backdrop of such results, questions arise. Is Ferrari making the right choice by replacing him with Lewis Hamilton? Many fans have pondered this question and erupted into a storm of emotions on social media, criticizing Ferrari's actions. Opinions are somewhat radical, but they are definitely worth hearing. The news of Lewis Hamilton's move to Ferrari has stirred up all Formula One fans and sparked many discussions. But back then, it was more about Lewis himself than Carlos. It seemed that the arrival of the seven-time champion in the team was a 100% strengthening move benefiting both sides. However, now there is increasing criticism of Ferrari's decision. Opinions vary. Some believe that Lewis is not needed in the team, while others think he should replace Charles Leclerc, especially influenced by the start of the season, in which Carlos appears more confident than his teammate. After the Bahrain Grand Prix, where the Spaniard climbed onto the podium, critical comments began to emerge about Charles. Former Formula One champion Damon Hill also voiced his opinion. "You'd never say that Charles has got the upper hand over Carlos. Carlos is able to beat him on many occasions and has done over a season. Has Charles matured enough where he could take a title fight right the way through without dropping the ball?" At the journalist's question, "If you were Toto Wolff, would you prefer Leclerc or Sainz in 2025 to replace Hamilton?" Damon Hill responded, "I would prefer Carlos." Perhaps back then, these conclusions seemed somewhat emotional and premature, but now they have even greater support from fans. Carlos's victory in Australia demonstrated not only his talent, but also his hard work and strong character. Just 2 weeks ago, he was forced to miss the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix due to appendicitis, and he had to fight to recover physically for the third race of the season in Melbourne. And although Carlos admitted that he was not physically ready 100%, it did not stop him from qualifying second after Max Verstappen, while Charles qualified 5th. And in the race itself, overtaking Max, who had brake problems, Carlos showed a good pace, not letting his teammate get too close. Here's what the Spaniard himself says about this Grand Prix. "I felt really good out there. Of course a bit stiff, and especially physically it wasn't the easiest, but I was lucky that I was more or less on my own, and I could manage my pace, manage the tires, manage everything. It wasn't the toughest races of all. Very proud of the team, happy to be in a 1-2 with Charles here. It shows that the hard work pays off. Life sometimes it's crazy. What happened at the beginning of the year, then the podium in Bahrain, then the appendix, the comeback, the win. It's a roller coaster, but I loved it. I'm extremely happy." Watching Carlos's confident race raises questions about whether Ferrari made the right choice. So far, Leclerc and Hamilton have had rather uncertain performances. Leclerc had brake issues at the Bahrain Grand Prix, while in Saudi Arabia he made it to the podium, but at that time, Carlos Sainz was absent due to surgery. And in Melbourne, he proved to be slower than Carlos, who hadn't fully recovered. On the other hand, Lewis's poor results can be attributed to the problematic car, but at least at the beginning of the season, he is slower than his teammate George Russell. All these results have caused outrage among some fans, who criticize Ferrari's actions with emotional comments. High praise coming from someone the team has kicked out. "Can you believe this guy is without a team? Shame. Imagine kicking out the only winning Ferrari driver of the last 2 years." Can we all just agree Ferrari have made a massive mistake signing Hamilton and binning Sainz? Hamilton looks completely finished, and Sainz is clearly a better driver than him these days. Ferrari need to find a way out of the Hamilton contract. Give this man a seat. And you sign an overrated, expansive old whining moaner instead of Carlos from 2025. Please cancel Lewis' contract. It doesn't make any logical sense. Don't do it, Ferrari. At some point, I think Ferrari will regret it for letting him go next season. And what do you think about this? Do you agree with the calls to keep Carlos in the team? Or do you think Ferrari made the right choice and conclusions shouldn't be drawn based on the first races of the season? Share your thoughts in the comments.